Hello everyone, welcome back. I thought today would be a good day to go over a video that Amberlynn Reid posted not that long ago called I've Got Bad News, or I Got Bad News. I thought I should kind of just bring it back to the stuff I used to do or did, however long ago it's been since I've posted, and do some reaction videos. So I will say that I've already seen this video because I watched someone else react to it, but after I watched it, I was like, yeah, no, I gotta put in my 2 cents on this one, because this is it for her. If this is how she's gonna think, then yeah, she's not gonna do well. She's just not, like, she has that victim mentality, and I think I've talked about that before. People who have this victim mentality, like, oh, something didn't go quite my way, so the world is against me, and I'm gonna fail in life. And I'm just like, no, you get to choose. You get to choose that. So let's get to this.
Hey guys, welcome to a new video. So I know that I have not been uploading much. I have not been vlogging, nothing like that. I just, mental moments, okay? Working on myself moments. And YouTube has always been a priority for me. I kind of talked about this in my last video, where I would come on YouTube even when I literally just felt like I couldn't even crawl out of bed to breathe.
Yeah, that's fun, because the person I watched was like, oh, everyone has to do that, like that's called a job. And yeah, but I get it, like, we all go through emotional things, so I'm not gonna fault her for that one. Like, sometimes I'm so depressed. I mean, that's probably why it's been so long since I've made videos, is because I was depressed for a while. This is my lovely co-host. Isn't she sweet? Her name is Jen. I love her. She's gonna lick the makeup right off my face. I'm wearing makeup. You don't want to lick my face. Oh, she needs a lot of my attention. So you will see her constantly, even if I put her on the floor. But she wants to be on my keyboards and stuff, and I don't want that right now. Hey, madam, I love you. Hey, I love you, but you gotta stop, okay? I want to make a video. I love you. Come on, go down. That does nothing. She'll be right back up in about 5 seconds. But let's continue.
Couldn't even crawl out of bed to brush my teeth, and I would still be on YouTube, and I would just look miserable. You guys have seen me look pretty miserable. It's those times where I didn't choose myself, and I finally said, you know what? I am choosing myself, and I'm not going to be on camera when I literally don't even know how to function as an adult.
See, I think that's great. I think that's healthy. The thing is, like, I know she's still got a lot of problems to work through. I mean, everyone knows Amberlynn Reid, like the stuff that she goes through and the stuff that she puts her audience through sometimes. So I'm not saying she's perfect or she's doing so amazing, but I understand that part. Like, honestly, I don't wear makeup ever, but I put it on because I was like, you know what, maybe I should, like, wear makeup when I do videos. Mind you, I'm not very good, and I could use eyeliner. I don't know how to really put that on yet, so it's a practicing thing that I gotta get better at. But I feel good, and I sound like I don't, but I haven't been up very long, so that could be why. But yeah, I get that. That's a good thing to do.
I hit a little low. I got some bad news. Has been some things kind of surfacing in my brain, and things that I have to, like, absorb and process myself. And then I got some bad news with my last dietitian visit. And
yeah, so this is what we're going to be talking about, her bad news. And yeah, it's not the greatest of news, but the way she's going to make it sound, it's like the worst news ever, and like that's it, like her world was over, and that's just not the case. And yeah, so see, there she is again. Madam, I love you, but you can't be on my keyboards.
And this is a video just like updates and such, my weight loss surgery updates. And it's super windy, so if you hear the wind, if you hear some whistling, that's what that is, because I have 6 windows in front of me right now. So first things first, I want to share with you guys these new vitamins that I started taking, because at the weight loss clinic that I went to, they give you like this huge big pamphlet, like it's like this thick, and then there's like 80+ pages. And
okay, so she's just talking about vitamins. I mean, it's good to take them. It really is. Multivitamins are a great idea, especially if you're not sure that you're getting a lot of nutrients in the food that you eat. Now, vitamins are kind of a iffy thing because they're not really FDA approved, and you don't always 100% know what's in them, but I mean, you hope that the companies are telling the truth, right? So, I mean, I have vitamins, wherever they are, that I started taking, women's vitamins, so yeah, I think that's a good thing.
And it's just tons of information, and they recommend certain vitamins, and I don't have them with me physically. They're in the office because that's where I take them every single day. But I will just post a picture here on the screen of.
All right. So look, it's got the vitamins you'd get from fruits and vegetables, food-based blends, and orchard foods, garden veggies. All right, that's cool. That's actually pretty cool. I might look into those. As long as they're good for you, that's all that matters. And there you are.
A screenshot of the vitamins. It is Alive Women's Ultra Potency Complete Multivitamin. So I just want to let you guys know that I have been taking those for a little bit, and I already feel them like doing their thing. I do have weird medicine anxiety, and sometimes it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, what she's about to talk to you about next, it's I mean, I would get it if it was the opposite way, what she's about to explain, but the way she talks about it, I'm like, I'd be more worried about the vitamins. Like I said before, you don't really know what's in them, and you're only trusting what the company says, versus medication you get from a doctor. Typically, they should know exactly what's in those.
I was fine with taking Delta 8, but then I get like scared to take vitamins. It's weird, I know. So I was holding on to these vitamins for a little bit, folks. I got them off of Amazon, and I was holding on to them. I was nervous to take them because like there's been things where you can like overdose on vitamins without even trying, and I'm just like, I'm scared.
See, I've never heard of that, but I guess it's possible you can overdose on pretty much anything, but I've never heard of overdosing on vitamins before. And I'm sorry that I sound weird. Other than me just waking up, I have been getting over like congestion for weeks, and it doesn't help that it's been snowing. So, yes, I'm gonna continue sounding congested, unfortunately.
I just get really scared with medicine really easily. It's very much trauma-based, but I'm taking the vitamins and I'm doing my damn thing. So I have gotten questions. I'm not wearing my Fitbit right now because it is charging. I have gotten questions though about like, how are you getting your steps in? Because I tell you guys that just naturally around my apartment or like going shopping, whatever it may be, I leave the house, take Twinkie out, whatever. I get about 3,000 steps a day, but I like to push it to 4,000.
See, that's pretty good. I mean, so I've been calorie counting, and it's been doing pretty good. In the past month and a half, I've lost like probably now 25 pounds. Last time I weighed myself was almost a week ago, so I weigh myself every 2 weeks. And it's more of a mental thing because I want it to look like I've lost more. So I lose either between 4 to 6 pounds every time I weigh myself. So this last time I was down 24.2 pounds. And all I'm doing is calorie counting. And I'm trying to get at least 5,000 steps. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're like me and walking can be hard after a while, 5,000 isn't too bad. So if I get at least 5,000, usually I get more. I'll get up to about 6 or 7, but 5 is usually my goal when I'm at work. It's harder when I'm at home because I don't really do a lot. And like I said, it's snowing, so I can't really just take a walk outside. But I mean, I guess I could. It might be fun, walk in the snow. Actually, I might do that. Look at that, giving myself ideas. All right, let's go.
I like to start off slow with my goals. I don't want to just be like, yeah, let's do 10,000. Not gonna happen. So I get about 4,000 steps because I try. And people are like, how do you do that? What do you do? Like, I don't know if that's coming from like a good place or a bad place, but I kind of just want to explain to you. So right here, I have an island in my kitchen. I like to walk around my island a lot. If I am watching YouTube or if I'm watching a show, I notice that around this time, there are so many shows that I watch. 1,000 Pound Best Friends, which one of my friends is actually on that show. Hello. I like to watch 1,000 Pound Sisters, Family Vacation, Jersey Shore. I love watching 600 Pound Life. And
see, it's funny. I like some of those shows. I don't do the Jersey Shore thing. I'm like, nah. But, you know, I think because I'm bigger, watching shows about bigger people kind of intrigue me. Now, mind you, they're not the best shows. They don't, especially like My 600-Pound Life, they're not good for the people on them. I mean, you see a lot of stories, and I believe it. Like, it's not really good for those people. And they don't make a lot of money because they get the surgery, so they consider that their payment. But I'm like, okay, but what if they don't get the surgery? Do they get the, what, $30,000-$40,000 that it would have cost for being on the show? Like, I don't know. It's ridiculous to me, and a lot of it's staged. It's reality TV. Of course, it's staged. But yeah, I like the idea of just using your house. Like, I could walk around in my house and just do stuff, if I want. Cleaning is always a good way too, because you get a lot of steps in when you're cleaning the house. So those are good things, they're good things.
And whatever it may be, whatever I am watching, sometimes I will stand up and I will just walk in place. And I notice for me, walking in place not only makes my heart beat faster, but I feel it more. I feel it in my muscles more, etc., etc. Another thing that I like to do is I like to walk from one end of the apartment to the other, and I'll just do that. And I actually measured it one time, and walking from one side to the apartment to the other one, it was like over 200 steps, and that was just one way. I do take small steps, so that could be why, but either way, I find it rather easy to get my steps in. And I noticed that like just cleaning around the apartment, that's an easy 1,500 steps a day.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Cleaning works wonders. I mean, number one, you're getting your steps in, but number two, you got a clean house at the end of it. Like, how great is that? That's something I need to do. I've got to do dishes. I've got to clean the dining table. I do resin. So half my dining table is just full of all my resin stuff, but I've got to clean that. The living room, I just have some rugs and stuff that I got to put away, and then I got to sweep and mop, but I'll get to it. And I have a long weekend because I didn't have work today or yesterday, and then of course my weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I won't be working, so. Because
I do like to clean and things like that. Like going somewhere, make sure to park farther away from the entrance. That's like a really easy one to get your steps in. So I have an update on my ADHD. As you guys know, I feel like I have it. I am almost positive I have it. My psychiatrist thinks I have it. So
my thing is, like, unless you're 100% diagnosed, and this is off topic, but the whole like Tess Holiday thing, which I might get more into, where she talks about having, an eating disorder. I'm just going to say it's anorexia nervosa, I believe is what they said. My thing is, like, she even said in the beginning she wasn't actually diagnosed. She said her psychologist or whatever said, if I could diagnose you, I would. But they never actually diagnosed her. And that's the thing with Amber. Like, Amber has even said, oh, I diagnosed myself with binge eating disorder. I don't think she's ever actually been diagnosed with it. And she's going to talk a little bit more about it. And I'll get a little more into what the definition is. In fact, she talks about it. But she doesn't fit that bill. So I don't even know that she even has it. I think she just has times where she eats a lot at the end of the day or whatever. And that's why she feels like she has binge eating disorder. But I don't know that she actually has it.
She recommended me to get seen for that, and I was waiting for a phone call to be evaluated on the phone to even see if I should go to the further steps of being assessed, which are two completely different things. And I officially had the phone call to be evaluated, and they said, yes, it does sound like you have it. So I'm on the schedule to be assessed, but it goes all the way up until like 5 months from now. I guess a lot of people think they have ADHD. I know it's very common, but I'm not going to be seen to even be assessed for like another 5 months.
Yeah, but that's normal. In the medical field, like, anyone who gets an appointment right away lucks out, because typically it's 5 to 6 months, which I think is ridiculous. Like, especially if you're like feeling really sick or you have some issues that you really need to be checked. And they're like, oh, we'll see you in 5 months. I'm like, bro, I could be dead in 5 months. Like, maybe see me a little sooner than that, But I mean, that's what the ER is for. If it's that bad, go to the ER. But for this, yeah, I mean, that's typical.
So that is crazy. I was not expecting that, but I know some of you have been asking about that, so I wanted to let you guys know. Revolving like my weight loss and like my way of eating and weight loss surgery and stuff, there's going to be a big change that's happening, and I'm sure there's going to be a big part of you who oh, I saw this coming. Typical Amberlynn. There's going to be another part of you guys who are like, oh, okay, I get this, I understand. But I feel like it's only going to be a tiny, tiny bit.
All right, here's my thing. Like, it's not about what she's about to talk about, what's happened. It's about her reaction to it that I have the issue with. It's her, you know, victimhood, you know, oh, woe is me type of thing. That's what I don't like. But it happens. Like, I understand what the doctor's talking about, and it makes sense. And when she talks about it, I'll talk more about that myself.
Tiny, tiny, tiny bit of you guys. Some of you are probably going to be shocked. Absolutely shocked. But I have to do what is right for me. So let me explain first. So I do officially have a dietitian. To get weight loss surgery, you have to see a dietitian and you have to get approved by the dietitian to get weight loss surgery. So one thing that is very important when you go to get weight loss surgery, because you are literally changing your anatomy. You are changing like your hormones, the way your body works, your stomach. Like, it is being taken out. I mean, obviously they leave some stomach, but a lot is happening.
This is true, especially if you're getting gastric bypass. I mean, they're bypassing your gastric system. Like, I mean, that's literally the name. But so yeah, it's true. Like, your stomach, I think with that one, they go to like the size of an egg. So what, like that big? You can get the sleeve, which literally leaves a sleeve of stomach. It's probably like half of your actual stomach. So yeah, she's right. It's gonna change a lot, and the way you have to eat afterward is insane. I've never had it, but I know people who've had it, and they talk about it. I'm just like, That's why I don't want it, honestly, because it depletes your nutrients too. Because you're not able to absorb food the way you used to. It depletes your nutrients and stuff, and I'm lucky in that way. Like, my nutrients, everything in my body is perfect. I don't want to mess that up. That's why I'm going a different route to try and lose weight.
Changes your whole anatomy, and it's a big change, physically, mentally, all of it. So you have to be honest. You have to be honest with everything. And seeing the dietitian and seeing the psychologist, I was very, very upfront and honest. I have been diagnosed with binge eating in the past, and
yeah, see, that I'm not sure about. I may have to watch some of her old videos, but from what I understand, she said she thought she had it. She kind of diagnosed herself with it. So I don't know. Maybe she did end up going and getting diagnosed with it. I have no clue, but
I was scared. I was so scared to say that, and obviously, because if you were to binge after weight loss surgery, you could get really sick. There has been people who have died because of it. It's a very scary thing. So with the psychologist, he was able to see that I was past that stage of.
Yeah, that's very true. Like, your stomach is so small. I mean, that's why they start you out with liquids, because you have to get it used to consuming food and stuff. And if you're not careful, you absolutely can kill yourself. I'm not gonna let you on my desk. I'm sorry, woman. I'm not. Okay. Ow. Now she wants to sit on my shoulder like a parrot. Okay, no one wants to see your butt though, so.
In my life, and I was diagnosed with binge eating about a year ago, and since then I have seen a psychologist for a year. A lot has changed since then when it comes to like my mentality and what I consider a binge and the whole thing. You guys have seen that firsthand. I showed you guys a binge, I think it was in December, and you guys were like, that's just a normal meal. So
yeah, I mean, there's a definition, like an actual definition for binge eating disorder, which she does go over. And according to her, she doesn't fit that. So I don't know. But I also think too that it could be because of how much she already eats, that maybe when they talk about it being like, basically it's 3 times the amount of food you would normally eat in a meal at one time. But maybe that's off the average person's meal. So maybe because she already eats almost 2 to 3 times more than the average person, for her, you know, that little extra she does may not be considered binge eating disorder in her mind, but it actually is by the definition. But I don't know.
The way that I see binging is very different than the standard binging. And that's been hard for me to like wrap my head around. The psychologist said, you know, binging is eating 3 times what you normally would as a person, not what is a normal amount to eat as a person, but you, what is your normal. And
well, there you go. I guess that's a good, that's the opposite. Well, I don't know then. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, you don't always know how much you're eating. So to her, it might not seem like a lot, but like when you get right down to it, she is actually eating 3 times the amount. She's just not realizing it. I mean, I don't know how you wouldn't, because that's a lot to have in one sitting, but I don't know.
And I don't do that. That I don't do. I overeat, sure, but I never eat 3 times or 4 times the amount that I normally would eat. This whole being diagnosed with binge eating has been very strange, and I think it's hard and confusing because think of it this way. I am 500 pounds. I have been 572. I have been almost 600 pounds. You can't get that way unless you are eating large quantities of food.
See? And I like that she says that because it's true. Like I said in my last video when we were talking about obesity and stuff, and you know, they talk about how heredity plays a big part. But it's only a contributor. It's not gonna make you 500, 600 pounds. It's just not. Like, heredity on my dad's side, obese. 400, 500 pound men. Men mainly, actually, which is funny. I mean, my sister always struggled with weight, but there's a lot of the men are big. But that doesn't mean that's why I'm big, because my sister, who has the same father and the same mother as I do, she's never been my size, ever. So if it's all about heredity, why isn't she big? Because she never ate as much as I did. She didn't eat the way, and she was more active than I was too as a kid. She just always was. And so of course she's going to be thinner than me. And so I think it's a cop-out, number one, to say, oh, well, obviously it's because my heredity, you know. I have a friend, and she's always been big throughout elementary, high school, always. She's never not been obese. Her family's not obese. Her mother's not obese. Her father wasn't. Her brother isn't. She's the only one. I mean, I'm sure there are other family members that are, but her immediate family, no. And then she married an obese man, and they have 4 kids now. The oldest, he was pretty big. He's grown tall, so he's kind of because he's grown so tall, he kind of medianed himself out. I was trying to think the right word. But then the second born, she's an obese young girl. Obese, like, she's big. I mean, and like, how much of that can you blame on heredity, and how much of that can you blame on diet? Because of her culture and stuff, they eat a lot of high fat, high carb foods. I mean, it's just part of the way that things go. But it's like how much of that can you really blame on heredity? You know, and then it sucks because then she has another daughter who's getting to be to that point, getting to be obese. And then her 4th one is still young, but she may also become that way. And so it's sad because that's not what I want for my future children. I don't want them to be obese. You know, I'm obese and my partner's obese, but we know the right things to do and ways to get down. And so, like, when we do have kids, I don't want them to suffer like that. That's not fair. I work at a school, and I see the kids that are bigger. They can't keep up with their peers. They get winded. It's hard for them to play in the playgrounds. They don't play the sports with their, like, how fair is that for a kid? That's not fair. And, you know, a lot of people don't know any better, and they really don't. And so I don't blame my friend, but she's also not up here as one of the fat activists saying, oh, it's all about heredity. That's why my kids are big. No. Because I'm sure she knows. Yeah, their diet plays a huge part.
Is that just like massively overeating, or is that binging? For the normal person, it looks like binging. Like when I watch 600 Pound Life and they show what they're eating, I've never ate that much in one sitting.
Yeah, but you also got to see too with that show, it's staged. They put a lot of food because people want to see that. It's why mukbangs are so popular. People like to see a big old plate of food or multiple plates of food and the person eating them. Like, it's just how it is. So It doesn't necessarily mean that that's how much they're eating in a sitting. I mean, maybe they are. I don't know. But I know it's staged. So you can't really use that as your, like, instructional manual of what not to do, you know? Because, I mean, I would say not do that. But when I just mean, like, you got to take it with a grain of salt, really, when you watch it.
And
what, Mama?
they go and they see Dr. Now. A lot of them, which are my favorite stories, they're successful. And they lose the weight, and in like 2 months, 3 months, they get the surgery. I've never in my life ate that much in one sitting. That's why I feel like the show exaggerates. But if they're not exaggerating, fine. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend anybody. It's just confusing, and I find this part of my journey unfair.
Yes, and now she's finally, after almost 10 minutes, getting to the point.
Let me explain why. I have not what I consider binged. I have not since somewhere in December. This whole January, February, we're fixing to be in March. I have not ate in a binging manner. I have been doing really good. I have been losing weight, and not only have I been working on that aspect, but I've been working on like my mental more, and just I've been actively choosing these coping mechanisms that my psychologist taught me all of last year. And I had my dietitian appointment, and
yeah, and see, that's good though. Coping mechanisms are good. You need those. You need to learn how to combat some of the emotional things that cause you to eat the way she does. I mean, her life's not been good. It's been hell probably from the beginning. So I understand. And if you watch My 600-Pound Life and you listen to their stories, they're all typically the same. Either their upbringing wasn't good, maybe divorce happened, parents were fighting, food was the only comfort, so that's why they, you know, still use it to today. Or they were SA'd, and that caused issues. Maybe they went through foster care. I mean, there's so many reasons, but they're all traumatic. I mean, if you think about it, they're all traumatic. And I'm sure even some of those fat activists who want to claim that obesity is beautiful and it's not unhealthy, you know, those 400, 500, 600-pound people, they've got something. They've got trauma that they just don't realize. And I'm sure that's the same with me. You know, I didn't get to almost 400 pounds for nothing. Now, I don't know that my food was ever comfort for me, but when I was bored, I would eat. It was just because it was something to do. And I'm trying to get over that. That's one of the things I'm working on. Also, I'm a huge snacker, and that's the other thing that I'm really trying to work on, because that's where, like, it used to be, that's where the majority of my calories come from. Now that I'm tracking them, that's less of a thing, but it used to be.
And she told me, this is going to be hard to hear, but if you are trying to get weight loss surgery, this is within their program. Every program is different. If you're trying to get weight loss surgery with this program, you have to go a full year, 365 days, without one binge.
Which I understand, because like she said before, if you binge, it could kill you. So, like, that was a horrible pause. So yeah, that makes sense. You know.
And that, it like broke me. This is the second time I've seen this dietitian. I guess from this point forward, I'm gonna see the dietitian once a month. And my next appointment's already scheduled, so I've already seen her twice. She said the improvements I'm making is amazing, and she's proud, and I'm going in the right direction, etc., etc. But she said I cannot get weight loss surgery for a year.
Yeah. Now, what she talks about next or soon is where she's setting herself up to fail. And the reason is she's promising herself, or she promised herself something that she didn't 100% know would happen. And this is the problem. And it's like, you can't do that. You have to just say, hey, I know that this is the beginning of my journey. And I also know that weight loss surgery is in the future, but it may not be right away. And so I have to be okay with that, and I have to work towards my goal and continue working towards my goal until it ends up happening. But that's not her mentality.
She cannot approve me for a year. And I immediately broke down. And I have been so confused, where I'm just like, Do I want to share this with YouTube? Do I want to share with them the horribly emotionally just painful side to this? Do I want to put a mask on? Do I just want to seem nonchalant? Do I want to go into detail? I have just been all over the place, and that is why it has taken me a little bit of time to share this, because that tore me.
Sure, I understand that. Like, I think the thing is, like, she thinks that because she's in social media that she has to divulge every little detail of her life. And that's not really what people want. But what I think people get mad at is that she'll be very vague about something. And then she'll say, oh, but I'm not going to talk about it. Now, if there's something I'm not talking to you about, I'm not even bringing it up. I'm not going to say, oh, I had a doctor's appointment. It was horrible news, but I'm not going to talk about it. Like, why even tell us? Like, why bring that up? And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people get mad at. And I don't blame them. That's annoying. It's like, girl, you don't have to tell us about your medical history. You don't have to tell us about any of this stuff. But if you're going to start bringing it up and be vague and then just say, I'm not going to say anything else, or I'm not going to talk about it, yeah, people get frustrated. And you can kind of understand it. I mean, obviously, it makes sense.
Like, it tore me. I don't know what it was, but I immediately had a breakdown in front of the dietitian. I couldn't control it. It was like my insides exploded, and I cried. And it just felt like another obstacle, another thing to just get in the way, because I have been doing everything to get this surgery.
Yeah, I get that 100%. Like, I would be bummed. It would suck. If, like, especially if they were making it sound in the beginning, oh, this is gonna, once you start doing these things, we're good. Like, they didn't even mention the whole binge eating disorder as an issue thing to her, which I think they should have right away mentioned to her. Then, yeah, I get her disappointment, because I'd be disappointed too. I'd be like, you never said that was even an obstacle, first and foremost. If I had known, I would have been preparing for that already. If they had told her, look, we know you have binge eating disorder. Here's the thing. We can't give you surgery until you've been binge free for a year. If she knew that from the beginning, that's something she would have already been accounting for. So I get that. I do. But life doesn't always work that way. Believe me, I've gotten some fairly bad news recently, just about my finances and stuff, and it's going to cost me a lot. Thankfully, I have friends that are going to help me, but it sucked, and I was pissed. I was real pissed, but there's nothing I can do about it right this minute. And I was told by someone, you just have to think of the now and focus on getting through it. And that's the thing that I'm having to learn. And it sucks. I'm still annoyed with it, frustrated, but and I'm not the only one affected, and it affects like half of the people at work. So it sucks. It really sucks. And I don't know how we're going to fix it, but we're certainly going to try.
I have gotten people messaging me saying, how are you getting through this process so quickly? I've been doing this for months and I'm not even as far along as you. I have been just like, I wanted the surgery before summer. I did. Since I'm self-pay, that would have been manageable. But since I have been diagnosed with an eating disorder, it's not manageable and it's not possible.
That's where she sets herself up. She gave herself a deadline that, number one, she didn't know how realistic it was. And number two, it was never guaranteed to be finished by then. And so she's setting herself up to be disappointed because she told herself, by summer, I will have this done. But who gave her that deadline? Nobody. She just gave it to herself. And that's something that she should not have done. She should not have set herself up to be disappointed like this. And that's exactly what she did.
And it hurts. And it instantly put me in this like weird headspace where I was just like, this isn't fair. I instantly thought of 600 Pound Life, where these people, this isn't me saying anything bad about anybody. And I have seriously sat here and I was like, should I even share my true feelings? This is just like what I'm going through. I've sat here and I've been like, they're worse off. They eat way more than I do in one sitting. Why are they able to get the surgery?
Yeah. And that's the thing, she's comparing herself, and I might get this quote somewhat wrong, but I believe it says comparison is the thief of happiness. And it's true. If you're going to sit here and compare yourself to everybody else, and you know, some are doing better, some are doing worse, but how healthy is that for yourself? And I try very hard not to do that, because you know, I'm someone, I want children, I want to lose weight and be healthy so that maybe I can have children, because infertility is something I'm struggling with. But I know as I lose weight and as I develop better health, the eating habit, that I may raise my chances of having children. And so I see all my friends and people younger than me, nieces and nephews, and they're all having kids, or they've all had kids, and you know, they already have the thing that I want. But that doesn't make me unhappy for them, and it doesn't make me unhappy for myself. Everyone has things in time, you know, and our times are all different. And so I'm not going to compare myself to other people, because they're not me. And their lives are just down a different path than mine. And I get the whole watching my 600-pound life and seeing, oh, at least I'm not as bad off as them. I mean, that's why most people watch it. And if you say that you don't watch it for that reason, you're lying to yourself. Most people do. They watch it because it's a sideshow. It really is. But it's not those people's fault. It's the show's fault. They make it that way. They put in their contract that, yeah, you have to be naked on camera. We have to film you getting into the tub. Because every single person, that's what they do. Because they know it makes money. It sells. That sort of thing sells. So, yeah, that's why it's popular. Yeah, you feel bad about it, but it's the truth. Like, I don't ever want to get to that point. I don't want to get to the point where Amber's at. I feel so bad for her. And it sucks. And it, you know, it sucks that her life has been the way that it's been. And it sucks that her suffering has been on the outside. Like, I mean, obviously, you look at her and you don't think this is a healthy person, you know, or this is a happy person, because she's not a happy person. And I know she was getting happier with the thought. And the thing is, just because she has to wait that year, and now it's what, 9-10 months now that she has to wait, that doesn't mean she's not getting it. It just means it's not coming at the time she thought it would. And that's okay.
Why do we have to wait a year? It sucks.
Well, and the thing is, too, going back to my 600-pound life, they always end up getting their surgery almost after a year. Like, they do month 10, month 11. And, like, usually by month 11, 12, that's when they're getting their surgery. So they don't get it right away. But through the magic of television, it looks like it only took them 30 minutes or an hour to get it. No. They waited months and months, and some of them had to wait 2 years because they didn't do what they were told in the beginning. So it's not easy for them. They still had to wait just as long. And I think that's the thing she's forgetting.
I think it's triggering, and it brings up like past trauma for me, where it just seems like no matter what I do, no matter what I try, there's always an obstacle and a roadblock. And last time this happened was when the psychologist said, you can't get surgery for like 2 years. And I was like, you know, and I didn't care as much then, not even remotely close to how much I care now. And I gave up. And it just, a lot of memories flooded, and just failure. You're such a failure. Just, that kept popping in my head.
Yeah, and that sucks too, especially if you're hearing it from other people or you're hearing it from yourself. You're usually the worst person to yourself. I mean, honestly, I don't know why that is. Like, why are we so hard on ourselves all the time? Like, it makes no sense to me. And I think that's the thing too. I try not to give in to that. I'm not a failure. You know, I'm doing my best, and I'm on the right track, and I will stay in the right track. You know, I would say I hope to, but I will, because it's something that I'm passionate about. And I'm not going to let outside forces change that. Like, even when I got upset with what was happening, you know, in my life, like, one of my reactions was definitely, oh, maybe I should eat a little more today, you know, because I'm upset. And I guess that is considered emotional eating, yeah, but I didn't, I was like, I'm not gonna let my emotions control and mess up what I'm already working so hard for. So, that's kind of the mentality she needs to have.
And knowing that no matter how much work I do now, it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter. All the tests I did, it doesn't matter.
This is not true. The thing is that even if that surgery is 10 months down the line, she still has to continue losing weight, showing progress, not binge eating, because if she does any of those things to sabotage it, she has to wait another year. I mean, she's going to add those 2 months back. So that's not true. It still matters. She still needs to continue doing it if she wants the weight loss. And that mentality right there is the wrong way to be looking at it.
And it just, I don't know, it's just like disheartening and it hurts. And I feel myself wanting to slip into bad routine. I feel like I don't know what to do with myself. What do I do for this year?
The exact same thing you've been doing. Continue losing weight, continue working on your diet, continue working on the things that the psychologists and the dietitians and whomever else gave you to work on. Continue working on those things. Don't stop just because it's not going to happen exactly when you wanted. She didn't say you couldn't get the surgery. What she said was, it'll be a year until you get it. Okay. And that's the thing. You need to stop interjecting your own, emotional whatever into it. Go to your psychologist, talk to them about it. Talk to the dietitian about it. Tell them what you're saying here, and I guarantee they're going to tell you, look, if you stop doing what you're doing, then you're right, you won't get that surgery. But if you continue, it'll still happen.
I just feel like everything was just kind of ripped away from me. And if that's because I got my hopes up, fine. But that's the only reason why I got my hopes up is because I was doing so well. I was doing so good. I was making the appointments. I was getting the tests done. I was putting the work in. I was exercising. I was losing weight. I was eating the right foods. I was doing the stupid little rules like take small sips, stop using straws, But
that's not stupid. And see, her use of was is what worries me. Because that's basically her saying, well, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not going to do that anymore. And she also has another video, which I may react to, called something like I failed or something like that. I have a sinking feeling. It's, I went back to my old ways and I binge ate, whatever. I have a feeling. And if that's the case, she has nobody but herself to blame. And the thing is, she doesn't know how to take responsibility for herself, because I can guarantee she'll be like, oh, well, it's the doctor's fault because they told me that I had to wait another year. It's everyone else's fault, blah, blah, blah. No. If you made the choice to stop doing what you were doing to get that weight loss surgery, it's all on you. Nobody else.
I was doing it all, and it left me feeling so proud. This is just in arm's reach, and now I just feel like it's so far away. And I've had to talk to the dietitian. I've had to talk to Feline. I've had to talk to people in my life who are close to me, and I've had to talk to myself and really absorb, what do I do now? Because I think what made it so easy for me to stay on track and to eat how I was eating, because I felt like surgery was right around the corner.
Yeah, but I think that's the thing too. I think she's looking at this surgery, like a lot of people do, as the fix for everything. And so she just needs to have this surgery to fix everything. But the thing is, her mentality is what shows she's not ready. Because if it hurts her to have to do all these things just to get the surgery, it's really gonna suck when she realizes what she has to do after. And I don't even know if they've had that conversation with her, if I'm being honest. I don't know what they've told her. But either they've told her this and she's just being Amberlynn and only listening to the parts she wants to hear, or they haven't told her completely what to expect, which I doubt, because usually they make you watch a video. I had considered getting the surgery, And one of the things they told me was I'd have to watch a video first that the clinic offered. And then I had to get the surgery once I signed up with their program. But the more I thought about it, I was like, you know, I never wanted to get the surgery. Not really. I wanted it because I thought, oh, it would help me not crave or not eat as much. And sure. But I know I can do that myself. And if I can learn to do that to myself, and I can lose weight on my own, then I will continually keep going in that direction because I already know how to do it. And there are things I have to work on. What I'm eating, not always the best. I mean, my snacks still consist of like 75% chocolate. I'm obsessed. And then I try to do like nuts and like cheese, and I actually need to get some fruit because I'd like to do some more fruit in my diet. So I'm trying to like balance that. So I still got my chocolate, but then I've got some fruit and I've got some nuts and I've got some cheese. So that way at least it's more well balanced, and that's what I'm working on next. And actually I'm craving strawberries right now and I don't have any, so there's that. But her mentality's just not in the place it needs to be.
That's what I believed in my heart. That's what I felt. And since it's not, like, I just feel like everything came crumbling down. And I don't know how else to explain it besides, like, my mindset has changed. That's the best way to put it. I still want weight loss surgery. Absolutely. And I would love to have it in a year from now.
And you can, and that's the thing. Maybe even less than. If you said, my last binge was December, that means that you have 10 months. 10 months. That's it. You can do it. Just say, hey, it's not happening in the summer, which the summer's what? May? June? No, like June, July, August. So it's not gonna happen then, but it'll happen, what, in October? So what, a couple months later than you were expecting? Like, why is that such a bad thing? Like, it's not. And I think that's the way she needs to look at it. And I hope someone tells her, like, look at it in this perspective. Like, it's only a few months past what I was thinking, you know? Like, unless she was, like, at the beginning of the summer, which I think is, like, June. July, August. Yeah, June. So, July, August, September, October. That's 4 months. 4 months. That's it. Extra. She would have to wait. So, I don't know.
I just feel like it's something else I failed at because I promised myself I would get it. Before the summer or even in the summer, I promised myself that. And I feel like I promised you guys that as well. That's clearly not happening.
Yeah, you shouldn't make promises that you can't keep to yourself or to others. And that's the number one rule. Don't make a promise you can know 100% you can't keep. Like, you know, if you have a child and they ask you, oh, will you live forever or will blah, 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 you don't tell them yes because you don't know that. And it might hurt them and it might be scary for them to know that you're not going to live forever. But you know what? If you promise them, yeah, I'll live forever, and then you die suddenly, then what? They're going to hate you. They'll say, you lied to me. Don't lie to your kids. Don't lie to yourself. And don't lie to others. I mean, and don't make these promises that you cannot keep. Because in the long run, it will not benefit you.
And now there's just like such a big gap of time for me to just fail. There's so many days to fail. So many hours, so many minutes, so many seconds. And that scares me. So I've had to really absorb the situation. And I know. A lot of you are gonna be like, she didn't even want the surgery. And you know, it's so crazy because I wanted the surgery so bad that that's all my channel has been.
Yeah, see, that's not something I was thinking. Like, I know she wants it. I mean, I've seen her actually try. I've been actually proud of her, which is something I never thought I would say. But, like, I've actually been proud of her because she actually wanted it. But she's going to have haters. And I think that's the thing, too. Like, she's like, oh, my haters. Fuck your haters. Like, who cares? I'm going to have haters. If I ever get even half as big, like, social media-wise as her, I'm going to have haters. People are going to hate me because of my face. They're going to hate me because of my voice. They're going to hate me because of my weight. They're going to hate me because of my hair color. I don't freaking know. I don't care. People are going to hate. People are going to love you. People are going to hate you. People are going to try to sabotage you. People are going to root for you. It's the way of the world. But if you are always focusing on the haters and always focusing focusing on those who don't want the best for you, then of course it's always going to be depressing. Like, screw them. They can say what they want. I know the truth about myself, and she knows the truth about herself, and she knows what she wants, and that's what she needs to focus on.
That's all my life has been, even off of YouTube. And still there are freaking haters out there who think I still don't want the surgery. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. When I tell you I broke down after that appointment, I had a fucking anxiety attack, like a full-fledged anxiety attack. I don't know. I get it. Someone with a binge eating disorder can really hurt themselves after surgery. I get it. But I don't have issues binging anymore. And I've never had those types of issues, like eating 3 times the amount you normally would. I've never had that.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter, because if your dietitian thinks that you qualify as a binge eater, and if you've told her what that consists of, and she still says, yes, that's considered binge eating disorder, you need to not do that. It's still considered binge eating disorder. Whether you agree with it or not, it doesn't change the fact that that's what she's thinking. That's what, or he, I don't even know. I don't know if she's ever even said what they were, but that's what they're thinking. So yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it's kind of how it is.
And it just, like, I don't know, it just sucks. I just feel kind of defeated. And I think I need to switch things up, switch my brain up a little bit. We are not going to be gaining weight. We're going to keep losing, because that is the plan here. So I don't want to explain what I'm going to be doing. You guys will definitely see it in the next video. A lot of people are going to be mad at me. A lot of people are mad at me regardless.
Yeah, but I don't get it. Like, why would people be mad at you because you have to wait a couple of years for surgery? Like, that makes no sense. Like, that's not, or a year, sorry. That's not your fault. I mean, you're doing what you're supposed to. So if people are so mad at you, that's on them.
So that's just something I'm gonna have to embrace and stay away from the comments, maybe stay away from online besides uploading, because this is also something else I want to talk about. So I have not had an upload schedule. I have like barely been uploading. It's bad, I know, but I'm starting to feel better. It's just, I feel like when it rains, it pours. Like, that's how this last month has felt for me, maybe even 2 months. I just feel like I was focusing so hard on something, and now it's just like, bloop. So it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, see, it's blip thing that, no, it's not blip. Yeah, it's not like disappeared. It's still there. It's just, it walked a little farther away, and now you gotta catch, you gotta walk a little farther to get to it. That's it. Like, you're making it, I think, out more to be than it really is, Just making it out to be more than it is, and you need to stop it.
It's a lot, but I am gonna go back to uploading every other day, and it's just gonna be vlogs, just vloggity vlogs. I feel happiest doing that, so that's what's gonna be happening. So I'm not sure when that's gonna start. It's probably gonna be like a few days from now, but then when you guys see my next Amberlynn, learn how to speak before you film. When you guys see my next video after this one, then that means, okay, every other day you're gonna be getting content from me. So yeah, I'm gonna vlog today. That's when I'm gonna start vlogging, and we're just gonna go on a vloggity vlog journey. And I'm actually surprised I didn't cry in this video, because
yeah, like with the vlogs, like if that's what makes you happy, do it. I mean, yeah, I think when you get to a certain size in YouTube, you kind of have to cater a little bit to your audience if you want to continue to keep your views up. But you still need to do things that you love, even if they don't get as many views. Like, I mean, you do. And people like her vlogs, I think, okay? So she has to kind of keep those up, Because
I've been doing nothing but crying. I feel like I'm mourning something. I don't know what I'm mourning.
You're mourning the idea that you gave yourself that you'd have that surgery within a few months and all would be well. And that's just not the case. And it's okay. And you need to reevaluate how you think about it. And I might actually comment on her video after this, even if she doesn't read it, because she needs to change the way she's thinking about it.
But I feel like I'm mourning something, and it's a horrible feeling. I feel like there's a lot of people who are like, it's just a year, it's fine. It's not fine, because that gives me so much room to make a mistake. And
see, you can't be thinking like that. You can't be thinking, oh, well, I'm gonna make a mistake then, because you know it's a year from now. Like, no, stop thinking like that. If you haven't made the mistake in the past few months, continue with that, one day at a time. Don't think about that it's not going to be till October, November, December, whatever. Think about that, yeah. Oh, actually, it would be December, huh? That she would have it, a year. My math is off. I don't care. My head hurts right now. But yeah, you can't think of it like that. Oh, I'm mourning the loss of whatever. Yeah, it's because you set yourself up to fail. I mean, you're setting yourself up to fail, and she always does. You know, she gives herself unrealistic goals and expectations and then wonders why they don't happen.
I'm honest with health professionals. As much as people think that I'm not, I am. I am very honest, and they're gonna hear the true nitty-gritty. If I feel that I've binged, or like my version of binging, I'm gonna let them know. And that's gonna restart the whole 100. The whole 100? What am I talking about? The whole year over. And that's scary because I'm Amberlynn. I make mistakes. I mess up. I'm not perfect. And I don't know, it's just a lot. It's a lot. I'm actually looking into getting a therapist. My dietitian actually gave me some therapists that she recommends, so I'm very happy about that.
That is a big yes. Please go to therapy. Please be honest with them, and please listen to what they tell you. Like, yes. And I hope it's a good therapist, please. Let it be a good therapist, someone who gives her the right information. Because not all therapists are great. Some of them suck. You know, some of them you wonder how they become a therapist in the first place, but there are really good ones out there, and I hope she finds it one.
And I need to talk to someone. That's clear as ever. So I'm gonna start the whole therapy journey over, and that's fine. It is what it is. I'm still gonna be working on myself. Even if I'm choosing to do something different currently, I'm still gonna be working on myself to one day get weight loss surgery. And it's just crazy that this is how things went down. Jeez. Anyways, I'm just rambling at this point, so I'm gonna go, and I will see you guys in my next video, which will be a vlog. So I'll see you guys then. Bye.
Nope. Pause you. Alright, so I have hope for her, you know. I want her to succeed. I don't hate Amberlynn. I don't think I've ever hated her. Frustrated with her, sure, it happens. But I want her to succeed. And we'll see. I might do another reaction video, like I said. I want to try to, like, do reaction video versus, like, videos that I put together. Just because I'm trying to, like, switch it up a little bit. But yeah. Until then. Here, actually, let me... look at my big old face. Woo, a lot of me. But until then, until I make the next video, I am happy for those of you that come and comment on my videos. Those of you that subscribe, I always appreciate it. And I'm going to try to be as consistent as possible with my videos. But we'll see. But thank you guys again, and I appreciate it very much. Bye. Have a good day.